This is my ranking of the Alien franchise now that Alien Romulus is out. Number 9 on my list is Alien vs. Predator Requiem. This is the only terrible movie in the Alien franchise. It's the only movie that's just awful. If there was a Mount Rushmore of the all-time worst big Hollywood studio produced movies, Alien vs. Predator Requiem would be on that list. And it's also oddly so dark, it's hard to see anything that's even going on in the movie. Number 8 on my list is Alien Covenant. I don't like Alien Covenant. There's things about Alien Covenant I like. There's good cinematography. I like the main girl and the captain dude Orem, and I like his like that he's like religious, so that he feels that the crew doubts him, so he's trying to make calculated decisions. I like the planet that they land on and the look of it and everything. There's things in Covenant that I like, but I think Ridley Scott went too crazy with this David character, got too obsessed with this David character. He obliterated the entire Prometheus, the engineers, and everything in a 60-second flashback. And it just got too, like, philosophical, diverged too far away from the xenomorph. When this movie started out with the shot of that, like, Greek statue's ass and David in his little white onesie walking around calling some dude who's the same age of him daddy in that weird white room, it just kind of lost me. Number 7 is Alien vs. Predator. I like Alien vs. Predator. It's hard not to like. It's a stupid movie, but, I mean, it's predators fighting aliens. There's some cool predator mask designs in it. The Celtic Predator, the Elder Predator is sick in it. The Grid Alien. There's some good stuff in Alien vs. Predator for fans of these franchises, and it's stupid and it's cheesy. They're in the snow. There's a queen alien. It's cool. Number 6 on my list is Prometheus. There's a lot of things I like about Prometheus, and then a lot of things I dislike about Prometheus. There's stupid characters in the movie. The engineers are pretty sick, though. The cinematography is really good. I don't love the movie overall. It's one of the lesser rewatchable movies of the franchise, but there's a lot of good things in it. And I like the overall concept of the movie, that Ridley Scott decided to have an alien movie that didn't have xenomorphs in it. It had other aliens, and it sort of was about humans trying to find their creators and going out there and figuring out why they were created. I liked all that shit. Prometheus, just overall, it was like grand concepts and like just okay execution. And sometimes when you have characters that stupid, you wonder how they're even able to fly to this planet. Number 5 on my list is the movie I saw last night, Alien Romulus. It's by one of my favorite horror directors, Fede Alvarez, who did 2013's Evil Dead and one of my favorite horror movies of the century, Don't Breathe. Romulus was good, but it wasn't great. The main issue I had with it was that all the characters just kind of fell flat to me, which overall made me feel kind of flat about the movie itself, in that I wasn't heavily invested in these characters, so the moments weren't incredibly tense to me, but it didn't do anything severely bad. I did like the relationship between the two brother and sister character, and I liked them. You know, they had some good alien scenes, some creative stuff. I kind of like the choice that they go with at the end. And it's overall a decent horror movie, a decent sci-fi thriller. And it didn't do anything offensively bad to the Alien franchise. It just wasn't offensively good. It didn't do anything amazing that I'm really going to remember when it comes to this franchise. But it was a fun addition to the Alien franchise. There were some really cool shots in it, and everything was good. Nothing was really great in it. Number 4 on my list is the 4th Alien film ever released, Alien Resurrection. I love Alien Resurrection. I think it's incredibly underrated. It is a pure 90s cheeseball sci-fi horror movie. Ron Perlman has some great one-liners in this movie. The dude Christie, when he bends over the back with the guns on a ladder and then he releases himself and falls into the water. That underwater scene where the aliens are chasing them underwater is super sick and scary and made me scared of pools when I was a kid. The giant weird baby alien scene is fucking bizarre and weird. Clone Ripley is strange, but I did like that fucked up room where she's like flame torching everything. Winona Ryder's kind of like whiny in it, but she's alright. And I like sort of seeing just the aliens in these little cells. They're in jail, and seeing how they escape, seeing how they turn on one alien to use the acid to melt the floors to escape. Like, stuff like that was super cool. And I like Alien Resurrection. It's a cheesy, dumb movie, but it's awesome. Number 3 on my list is Alien 3. I like this movie. I think it's pretty underrated. The dog alien is pretty sick. I like that they gave like a totally different idea for an alien. When the chest burster comes out of the human, it's walking upright, but when it comes out of the dog and it's like crawling and running. I thought it was sick. I really liked when it came out of the dog, the chest burster, and Dylan's giving that speech at that funeral. That was a pretty good scene. I like that it doesn't take place in a spaceship for once. It takes place in this prison with these crazy dudes that it's hard to tell any of them apart. And Ripley is told that these dudes are all rapists, but she just goes walking around showering with them and hanging out with them all day. It doesn't make much sense. This movie in many ways feels like a Final Destination alien movie. Some of the kills are just like pretty cheesy and just so perfectly timed. It's like, how did that happen? But overall, it's a fun alien movie. It's not up to the quality as the next two, but it's a pretty good addition to the Alien franchise. Number 2 on my list is the second Alien film, Aliens by James Cameron. This is one of the all-time greatest 80s action films, one of the all-time greatest 80s films in my opinion. The thing about Aliens, when I was watching Romulus last night, I was thinking back to Aliens, and when you watch Aliens, there are so many memorable characters, and you could name them all by name after watching the movie for the first time. You could say like Vasquez was awesome, and Hicks was awesome, and there's all these good characters in this movie, and you actually care about each one of them when they're in these scenes. So good, and the tension and the horror, everything is just so well done. Aliens is one of my all-time favorite horror movies, and it's number 2 on my list, only behind the original 1979 Ridley Scott Alien. I think this is one of the greatest movies of all time. Alien and Aliens are 2 of the greatest movies of all time. Alien is the perfect example. I think if anyone wanted to make a horror movie, I think Alien is a must-watch to show you how to do horror, how to do tension, and how to do claustrophobia, and just how to do a true monster movie. Alien is a monster movie, no different than Jaws or Jurassic Park or any of the great monster films. This one's in space, and it's all practical with miniatures and paintings, and it is just so awesome to watch. It holds up more today than pretty much most movies that come out today. So that's my rankings. Number 9 is AVP Requiem. Number 8 is Alien Covenant. 7 is Alien vs. Predator. 6 is Prometheus. 5 is Alien Romulus. 4 is Alien Resurrection. 3 is Alien 3. 2 is Aliens. And 1 is Alien. Peace.